Greetings, royal family. It's carnival time. Carnival time. I told y'all that I was going to dig in my storage closet and pull out my island girl costume for carnival. Now, this is not the one that I had originally wanted to pick out, but this one belonged to my late aunt, who was also a carnival queen. Okay. So I decided to put this on, in memory of my girl, my late aunt. How you doing? All right, so I'm keeping this on for the whole review, as I promised y'all. So hopefully y'all won't get distracted. So, Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 12. I don't even know what episode this is, to be honest with you. Snake Buy. So finally, we get to see what all the fuss and hubbub was about, okay? But before we get there, let's start from the top. Thanks for clicking on the video, Royal Family. If you are new here, welcome and hello. If you are a returning Royal Family member, you know how this tingles. All right, so Dennis, he shows up to Canada. So he is at Tanya's party, and Dennis, he gets down on not one, but two good knees and puts Porsha's ring back on her finger. Now, I didn't hear a proposal, okay? If you guys did, let me know, but they might have cut that part out. Who knows? They like to edit a whole bunch of stuff. So who knows? They could have definitely edited that part out. So he leaves. He has to, he proposes to her and then he has to leave right away. So because he has to get back to work. Yeah, I bet. Anyway, so they're in the van. The ladies are in the van after the party. And Kenya, of course, she's imitating Tanya again. And then she asks Porsha what happened with her and Dennis, and then they all start talking about the blogs and is it true that he's really into bestiality and what happened with their relationship, because Kenya hasn't really been telling the ladies much. I mean, not Kenya, Porsha. She hasn't really been telling the ladies much, and she starts going a little bit into what happened, and I don't think that she should have said anything to these people, none of them. Some people like to hear when you're like doing how you're doing in comparison to them. And I'm just saying, I wouldn't have told them anything. I mean, she told them a little something, but then she stopped herself and turned it around. But I wouldn't give them any ammunition or any invite into my business. So Snakegate. So Snakegate is getting ready to be hashed out in this next scene, right? So they all go back to Marlo's room. They're in the little living room area or whatever. And Cynthia says that she recalls having a conversation with Giovanna. So Bravo shows a picture of Cynthia and Giovanna like sitting at a restaurant, and they point out Giovanna's phone and her pocketbook. Like, Bravo is so shady this season, and they don't care. So I thought that was funny. They had the little sound effects and everything. So Kenya has a plan. She is going to lie and say that they already know that Giovanna is the snake. So Kenya and Porsha, Giovanna comes in the room, and Kenya and Porsha, they start accusing Giovanna, and then Nene walks in. Girl, Nene, sis, are you okay? Nene walks in, sashaying in the room, flashing the girls, breasts all out, pasties on with her silk robe. I'm like, Nene, are you okay, honey? Like, she was given a bit much. But anyway, so Giovanna is holding her own at this point, and Giovanna says that they need not be concerned about any recording, and that what needs to be discussed is the fact that all of them are being fake. So Nene says that there is a difference between a recording and audio. Nene girl, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So at this point, Marlo and Cynthia, they start arguing, and Cynthia says that this is a serious situation for me, like telling Marlo, like trying to tell her to be quiet because she feels that Marlo was inserting herself in this situation. Nene was trying to tell Marlo to stop, but Cynthia was getting disrespectful and calling Marlo out of her name, which wasn't even necessary. And Cynthia says that this is a serious situation for her. Let's pump brakes here. How is this a serious situation for you now, Cynthia? You were the very same one when Kandi first brought this information to you. You were the very same one that said that you don't give a darn about a recording and Nene could shove that recording up her blankety blank. And you don't care. So how is this now serious all of a sudden? Right. So Nene refused to snitch. They were asking Nene, like, who is it, Nene? Who was the one that said something? And she said in her confessional that Yvonne is the one with the information. And Kenya at this point is holding Cynthia's hand because she was getting ready to walk out the room because her and Marlo were arguing. And Kenya, God, I'm not holding back. Kenya, as usual, was inserting herself. Why? Why were you inserting yourself so much in this situation, Kenya? You going over to Cynthia holding her hand. What is this? This is gossip that is being revealed that she herself says she don't care about. What you holding her hand for? Like, this is not a traumatic situation that has gone on anyway. So Porsha and Yvonne, they're going at it. And Yvonne said that she has nothing to say about the situation. Yvonne did not own up to anything and she did not deny anything. She just says that she already said what she said and she doesn't have to explain herself any further. She did tell Porsha that the snake is her man. She needs to worry about her man. So I said, oh, what a way to create a diversion. Great. Now, even though it was a low blow because she felt offended because Porsha kept calling her a snake. So she hit back and said, your man is a snake. I mean, according to recent events, she ain't lying. But still, you know what I mean? And Porsha got mad and Porsha hopped up and, you know, they had to separate them. And Cynthia, at this point, she escapes out the room and she's in the hallway. And Nene, she did run after Cynthia to try to talk to her. And again, Nene says that Yvonne definitely has the recording. She's telling Cynthia this. Now, Cynthia is crying and they're holding hands, Nene and Cynthia. And then here comes Kenya yelling at Nene, getting in the middle of them talking. This was the perfect opportunity for them to talk. Even if it was away from the group, the cameras would have picked it up. Bravo is picking up everything and showing us everything, things that we didn't even see before, all types of stuff. So why couldn't Kenya just allow them to talk? It would have been better if they talked away from the group anyway. But no, 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 no. God forbid that Cynthia and Nene make up an inch. So production is asking Nene in her confessional, why didn't she tell Cynthia, you know, who it was, or why didn't she give Cynthia a heads up or whatever? Why didn't she say anything? So Nene answers very pettily and says, you know, I don't owe her that. And she goes back to mentioning when Cynthia didn't tell her that Kenya was going to show up at, you know, Cynthia's party. Kenya's yelling, Nene, that was petty. But whatever, it is what it is. And I think that's an excuse. Maybe that's how she felt at the time that she was doing the confessional. But in that scene, it didn't seem like that's how you felt. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Who knows? So Kenya, she is yelling and she is getting on my last nerve. They're out in the hallway. I just don't understand why Kenya is so invested in this situation. She does not want Cynthia to talk. She doesn't want Nene to talk. It was just so unbecoming. And it's like, girl, we know you want to be in every scene, but girls, relax. Like, you just relax. And I just want to know at this point, where is Tanya? Because these ladies are in the hallway and they're yelling and carrying on. It's like, not Kenya, Tanya, please come and get your guests, girl. Come and get your guests. So Nene and Yvonne, they are talking, and Nene is just like, girl, why you not speaking up? Like, I'm trying to have your back. Like, you know, Yvonne is saying nothing. And now Yvonne did not call Nene a liar. So what's really going on? She didn't say, like, Nene, why you lying? Like, Nene, I didn't say that. Why are you throwing me under the bus? She didn't say that. So I wonder what is going on. So they go back in the room, and Porsha wants Yvonne gone. So Yvonne ends up leaving. And Nene, again, is trying to talk to Cynthia at this point. You know, Cynthia's just like, you know, we can talk about this another time. And Kenya is still jumping in and yelling at Nene. And she's yelling in Nene's face. And it's kind of like, yo, Cynthia, why you can't tell your girl to relax? NeNe told Marlo to calm down and relax. Get your girl. Like, she's doing way too much at this point. Anyway, so NeNe finally turns around and tells Kenya to shut the blank up. My sentiments exactly, NeNe. Like, I've been yelling at the TV for Kenya to shut the blank up when she first started talking. Because she's in NeNe's face and shouting in NeNe's face like, girl, back up. Anyway, so production and Marlo, they start holding NeNe back. And then you see Porsha trying to hold NeNe back as well. And Kenya, she escorts Eva out the room. And Eva, let me ask you a question, sweetie. You're like, what, 7 months pregnant? She's 7 months pregnant. When Porsha and Yvonne, when Porsha got up in Yvonne's face, why did you come all the way across the room, pregnant and all, to try to hold Porsha back? Why would you put yourself in the middle of that knowing that you're pregnant? Something is wrong with Eva, for real. Anyway, so NeNe goes out into the hallway and production is holding her back because she wants to say what she needs to say to Kenya. Now, where is the scene that NeNe attempted to spit on Kenya? Did they cut that out? Where's that scene at? Because I didn't see that. So NeNe goes back into Marlo's room and then she blames the whole thing on Marlo. She said that, you know, sometimes you need to know when to shut the F up. Like, if you didn't say anything, we would have got this resolved. And Marlo's like, me? You know, she blames everything on Marlo. So it's carnival day. Tanya's getting her makeup done. And NeNe shows up because she's leaving. She's leaving. I think Eva left as well. And Yvonne, she was asked to leave. So NeNe stops by Tanya's room. And Tanya has no idea what happened. She said everybody was calling her early in the morning. And NeNe just gave her the glazed over version of the story. And then she goes into saying that Porsha had her back. So she feels like that little sister, big sister relationship can be saved. Yada, yada. Again, she's headed out. Yvonne leaves as well. And it was so sad. They did Yvonne dirty. I don't know. I don't know that whole dynamic. Like, there's talks in the blogs that NeNe was lying about the recording. And then it's like being said that there is a recording, but NeNe didn't lie. Yvonne was the one that said she had the recording. So, of course, everything is going to fall on NeNe. You know what I mean? Everything's going to fall on NeNe. Anyway, so the ladies, they're all dressed in their costumes and they look great. Now, even though this theme does not match the theme of this year's carnival, it doesn't matter. This was in, where did my aunt go when she did this one? I don't know if it was Canada or if it was either Trinidad or Canada. I don't remember which one it was. Darn, it was so long ago, but I kept this. Anyway, along with so many others. Anyway, so they're all chipping down the road. Yes, and they're having a Henny good time. You know, Porsha, she loves her Henny. Cynthia took a swig. They have a flask. They're looking great. And shout out to Bravo Production for playing authentic, real soca music. I was getting my life, and I love that. So somebody did their homework, and somebody was respectful to the culture, the island culture, and they were playing authentic soca music. Job well done. So we see Kenya and Cynthia talking. Kenya's just like, oh, there's so many people everywhere. Like, I guess she was over it. Anyway, so Cynthia says that Marlo inserting herself upset her the most. Marlo inserting herself upset Cynthia the most. See, this is what I mean about Cynthia. You see, totally overlooking Kenya's behavior. And Kenya, I think, made the entire situation worse. Listen, the first couple of times that she was shouting in NeNe's face, she wanted a response. And NeNe was not focused on her. She was focused on trying to do whatever, I don't know, clean up, whatever. Regardless if it was a lie, she was trying to clean it up. I think that NeNe and Cynthia should have been allowed to speak. And Kenya was doing too much. She shouldn't have been doing anything at all. This does not concern you. Stop acting like you care about Cynthia's reputation, girl. Anyway. Then Kenya says to Cynthia with a huge smile on her face, I've never seen you curse somebody out like that, like when she cursed out Marlo. And I I think Cynthia was doing all of that because Kenya was there. I'm sorry, like she's so different when Kenya's present and when Kenya's not around. And as far as Kenya, she lives for strife and contention. You know, and Cynthia and your fake outrage, you know, when she was upset about Marlo bringing up the fact, I think they were talking about the difference between audio and recording, and they were giving an example of a recording. And Marlo brought up when Cynthia was whispering in Mark, whatever her fiance's name is, when she was whisper in his ear in the past season saying, oh, I'm supposed to act like I didn't know Kenya was coming. And it's like, Cynthia, you're outraged about Marlo bringing that up. It's on camera. It's a recording with audio. You really mad? What is that to be mad about? Cynthia, girl, cut it out. Now, Nene didn't say anything to Cynthia as far as like disrespecting her or calling her out of her name. And it's just like, damn, Cynthia, like, what is wrong with you? Like, you and Nene could not have a conversation because, like I said before, Kenya does not want Nene and Cynthia to reconcile. She does not want it. Moving along to dinner. This is the final dinner before the ladies are leaving. So Marlo, she apologizes to Cynthia, even though Cynthia called Marlo out of her name and was cursing at her. But Marlo wants to be this bigger person or whatever. So she apologized to her. Marlo got a text message or an email that her passport was recovered. Hooray. Porsha started to speak about like the previous night. And then Cynthia says about the whole recording, and Porsha's just like, can you believe it, Yvonne, or whatever it is that she said. Cynthia cuts her off and says that I don't give a damn. Cynthia, do you care or don't you care? Because when you first heard about it, you ain't care. All of a sudden, when Kenya was pushing the issue and trying to figure things out, you cared. Then you tell Marlo, this is serious, a serious situation with me. Now you don't care. Will you cut out all that flip-flopping, girl? Cut that flip-flopping out. Do you care or don't you? Now you said you don't care, you better not bring it up. Marlo points out the fact that Kenya had on a wig, and I thought that was funny. And the reason being is because Kenya likes to talk about Marlo. She trashed her wig event. And when Marlo brought it up, Kenya's just like, whatever. I don't have on a wig. Like, she just brushed it off. But if it was Marlo or anybody else, Kenya would have been going on and on and on about it. So she was embarrassed. Good for you. Anyway, so they start talking about marriage and wedding, and Kandi asked Tanya, when is she going to get married? Because I didn't know she was engaged to Paul, Rob, whatever her boyfriend's name is. And she says she doesn't know. Tanya says that honestly, that her relationship is perfect for me. That's what she said. My relationship is perfect for me. So in Kenya's confessional, she says, no, Tanya, no relationship is perfect. Yeah, we know, you're living proof, Kenya. Every relationship that you've had that has been on the show has been a disastrous arrangement. So I noticed that Kenya was envious of Tanya when she started making fun of her. And I know some of you are going to say, oh, it was lighthearted and fun. No, she's envious of her. She definitely is. But anyway, moving along. So Kenya asked at the table, she asked if you suspect or heard that one of your friend's man is cheating, would you want to know? So I'm saying to myself, what is Kenya talking about? So as usual, Kenya displays that she has zero class. She has no class. I don't care how beautiful she is, because she is physically beautiful. She looks great in her outfits. She dresses beautiful on the outside. I don't care how. She has no class whatsoever. So Cynthia, in her confessional, says that she feels uncomfortable because she is privy to the information that Kenya is dancing around, basically. But as usual, Cynthia, you are not going to say anything about what Kenya is doing at this table in front of all of the other ladies. You are not going to correct her behavior, and you are very well aware of what she's talking about and what she's doing and the person that she is indirectly attacking has no clue about what Kenya is talking about, as usual. So they flash to a scene that we have never seen on the episode. And this is where Kenya and Cynthia are being approached by some lady, some cookie lady, I guess that's what they call her. Remember when Kenya had baby Brooklyn and she was with Cynthia before the wine cellar opened. And Cynthia was like, oh, there's a good cookie spot next door or down the street. Let's go there. How convenient. And then we see a lady who she has a mic on because you can clearly hear her. And she's going up to Cynthia and Kenya, and she's talking about Paul. That's his name. That's Tanya's man. And she's just saying like, oh, you know, I met him at a bar or I saw him at a bar or wherever, and he was all over me. And he gave me his number, and he was flirting with me, etc., etc. And Cynthia says in her confessional that this info didn't have to go anywhere. And I know Kenya is shady, but see, Kenya's not shady. Kenya is mean. She's vile and she's miserable and she does not want to see anyone happy. And she doesn't care. She will be in any and every scene if it means that she's getting attention. But this right here, And I just feel like you mean to tell me, girl, you couldn't pull Tanya aside. You went on a trip with her and you wait until the ending of the trip in front of everybody to try to indirectly say something about her man. Like, you couldn't pull homegirl to the side and talk to her about this. And Tanya has been nothing but nice, hospitable, respectful, loving, welcoming towards all of the ladies, including Kenya. And it's just like, misery really does love company, child. And this, And then she goes on to say, what did she say? She goes on to say that if these women want to find out about their men, they will eventually find out. And then it's like, why are you trying to bring the topic up then? If you're trying to act like you're going to stay out of it, why are you bringing up the topic and you're not even being direct and shooting from the hip? You're dancing around it. And then what if it's like, and did you guys notice Tanya's body language? It just looked like she knew what Kenya was talking about, and she looked hurt, and she really did look uncomfortable. And it's like, Bravo, why did you show us that scene? Why did you keep that scene from us and show us that scene? Like, is that why Tanya doesn't want to be a part of the show? Because she knows what Bravo gives, and she knew maybe they were going to dig up some dirt on her. Who knows? Or that some of the ladies were going to participate in some of this dirt coming up. I don't know. But she really looked uncomfortable, and that made me even more, that ticked me off, because it's like, girl, Tanya don't bother nobody. And Kandi even knew. Kandi even knew, because she said one of them, either Kenya or Cynthia, probably Kenya, told her. And it's just like, Porsha feels like Kenya might be talking about her, and, you know, because of the situation with the dentist issue, and she's just like, I know she's not talking about me. But you see what I'm saying? Like, oh, Kenya didn't say anyone's name. I can hear people saying that now. She didn't say anyone's name. But nah, there's two other people at the table that know who and what you're talking about. And the person that you're talking about is sitting right next to you. And you dancing around the topic. Like, I don't like that try to be funny type stuff. Like, I don't know. They're really trying to play Tanya. And I just feel like if you know something, you either say something or you don't say nothing at all. And I just feel like, yo, Tanya really did look uncomfortable. And after Kenya brought that up, and I don't know, production, they did Tanya dirty too. And maybe, like I said, that's why she doesn't want to be a peach holder. And that's why she doesn't want to be bothered with the show. Cookie Lady had a mic on and everything, girl. You could hear everything that she was saying. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, what's the issue now, Kenya, with you and Tanya? Like, did I miss something? Like, you have a beef with her? I don't know. She just go, girl. And I get it. If people like the mess for entertainment, but girl, you are miserable. You are miserable. Kenya strikes me as the type of person that, like, she was probably the kid that nobody else wanted to play with. And I know that sounds mean, because she was always mean and trying to, no, don't be her friend, be my friend. I don't know. That was so nasty. And I just don't get it. Like, Tanya, I don't know. I don't know. And again, Cynthia has nothing to say. Cynthia has absolutely nothing to say. So, Royal Family, that is it. Thank you for sticking it out with me. If you like the commentary, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like this video. Make sure you get down in the comments, okay? I know a lot of people are team twirl. That's cute. Just make sure you're respectful, because I know some of you won't agree with me. That's fine. Just keep it cute in the comments, all right? So, Royal Family, I will look forward to communicating with you down below in the comments section. Keep your notifications on. Yes, because I'll be back soon. Real soon. So until next time, peace.